guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time seeing my face, hi, my name is Lisa. Thank you so much for watching. In today's video, I really wanted to create a look inspired by my favorite Christmas movie, which is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I think this look came out fabulous! It is also a really nice Christmas look. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get started. I'm gonna start off by priming my lids. I'm using the Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. So I'm just going to use my brush and make sure to cover the entire lid. Then I go in with my finger to just make sure everything is well blended. Now I'm going in with this Tarte press powder in color light medium and set my entire lid. Now for my transition color, I'm going in with this color from the NYX Fire palette and just doing circular motions with this Wet n Wild blending brush. For my transition color, I really like using a color that kind of matches my skin. And this is the perfect color. Okay, let's start putting some color on these lids. I'm going in with this color by BH Cosmetics, the 120 color palette. I'm taking this brush by Sephora, the 205, and just going back and forth right under that transition color. Now I'm going in with the green that's right below the one that we just used. And we're gonna take that right in the inner corner and just kind of glide it back and forth. I'm just going to continue adding more and more product. So starting on the corner right here and then doing small circular motions going in. And what I like to do now is go back to that blending brush that we used for the transition and just make sure that those two colors are well blended. Now to define my crease, I'm going to be using this Forest Green by the Maybelline Urban Jungle palette. Just going below that green to have that transition going on. So with this color, I like to take it on the inner and outer corner and then just go back and forth instead of doing those circular motions. And of course, going back in with that same brush to make sure all of those colors are blended together. Now going back with the Soft Ochre, I'm going to create a halo on the center of my lid. Now what I like to do is go back to that Forest Green and using this eyeliner brush, really define that crease. Taking a flat brush, we're going to go back in with that lime green and cover the center of my lid. Using that same brush, going back and forth to blend those two colors together. Now taking my finger, I'm going in with this gold from that same Maybelline palette. And I just want a gold shimmer, so I'm just going to press it lightly right on the center. Now I'm gonna take this Black Radiance eyeliner to cover my lash line. I'm not gonna do a wing for this look. For lashes, I'm taking these Andrea 91s, and for my lash glue, I'm taking Kiss Strip Lash. The eyes are done. Now I'm just pinning my hair back to start on the face. So guys, I have a new obsession. So you guys know how much I love the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. Well, some of my Snapchat followers told me to try the Baby Skin Pore Eraser by Maybelline, and I'm obsessed. Like, it kind of works the same. I like the Smashbox a little bit more because I found that it controls my oils, like my T-zone, a lot more. But this definitely is a dupe, so you guys should definitely try it. I'm going to be using that today and mainly focus on my T-zone. I know I usually put moisturizer, but for some reason my skin has been super oily, and usually I would put a ton of moisturizer because my skin is normally dry, so that's why I'm skipping that part for today. Then I'm going to take my Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation in color light medium, and I'm going to dot it all over my face. Now I'm going to take my Real Techniques buffing brush and start buffing the foundation into my skin. And then I take some more foundation, and using my finger I cover my blemishes. Then I like to take my setting spray to really set that foundation in, and right after it dries I like to take my Real Techniques sponge and just blend out the edges. And this technique really helps cover all of my blemishes. Then I take my concealer. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in color Sand, and apply that under my eyes and where I will like my areas to be highlighted. I also like to take my concealer and put it on the side of my nose to kind of contour it. Using the same technique, I like to take my setting spray to really set that concealer in before blending. And then going back in with my Real Techniques sponge and blend out the edges. Then to set that in place, I'm taking my Cover FX setting spray in color light. Then to set the rest of my face, I'm taking this Tarte pressed powder in color light medium, and I'm using the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. Then I'm taking this bronzer by Too Faced in medium deep, and this Real Techniques contour brush. And to make sure everything is well blended in, I'm going in with a lighter bronzer. This is the Too Faced Poreless. Just basically going on top of that, making sure that there are no harsh lines. And then taking my sponge and kind of press that into the skin. And also taking that same setting powder to carve my cheeks. Whew. Whew. And while that is baking, I like to take my light bronzer to contour my nose. And I like to do this while the setting powder is there. That way when I take off the setting powder, it kind of blends in nicely. When you are doing a nose contour, make sure you're going in with a couple of shades darker instead of like 5 shades darker. I used to hate nose contouring because I would always use a shade that was super dark, and it will be just so hard to blend, and it will leave me with like a black nose. But I started using this, which is like a couple of shades darker, and you know, now it makes it super easy. And then I take my sponge and just go over that before removing that setting powder. And then I just remove that baking. Woo! Woo! I love this setting powder, but it is super thin that I literally inhale it every time I use it. Going back to the eyes, we're gonna finish the underlash. I'm taking this Urban Decay green eyeliner in color Apathy, and I'm just gonna add that to my waterline. I hope I don't start crying. I always cry when I do this step. Woo. Then I'm going back in with that forest green eyeshadow and just focus that on the outer. And then bringing that in. And also connecting that with the top eyeshadow. Now I'm going in with the transition color that I used and a fluffier brush to blend that in. Now taking my Tarteist mascara, I'm going to coat my underlash. I should have done this step at the end. Now I gotta wait for them to dry before I add setting spray. I always do this. Before adding my highlights, I'm going in with this Makeup Revolution setting spray. And the highlight that I'll be using today is from Becca Prosco Pop. And I'm applying it with the e.l.f. highlighting brush. And then to apply highlight on my nose, I'm taking my finger and also applying this highlighter to the inner corner. And then I like to take whatever is left and just applying a tiny bit on my brow bone. So for lips, I wanted to go with a nude so the eyes can be the center of attention. I'm taking this nude lipstick by Lip Couture in the color Goldish. And then on top of that, I'm taking this lip gloss by Kylie Cosmetics in the color Literally. Well, that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Grinch inspired eye look. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. That way it will let me know to create more videos like this. Also, if you can, leave ideas for me in the comment section below on what you want to see next. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And also don't forget to hit that bell button next to the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. I hope you guys have an amazing Christmas and I'll see you next time. Bye. Alvia, can you stop? Hola a todos mis amigos, ¿cómo andan?